Let me ask you a serious question. What if the smartest thing you could do is to walk away? Walk away from the noise. Walk away from the drama. Walk away from everything that's been draining your energy, slowing your growth, and blocking your peace. We live in a world where people are praised for how much they can handle. But intelligent people, they're not trying to handle everything. They're trying to avoid what doesn't serve them. Because intelligence isn't about how much you know, it's about how you move. It's about the things you choose to avoid, the chaos you don't entertain, and the battles you no longer fight. While others chase popularity, they chase peace. While others jump into drama, they stay grounded in purpose. While others react to every insult, every comment, every storm, intelligent people stay in control. And you know what? That kind of wisdom doesn't come from a book. It comes from experience, from heartbreak, from lessons learned the hard way. So if you're tired of repeating the same cycles, if you're ready to elevate, if you're ready to finally step into the version of yourself that doesn't just survive, but thrives, then listen carefully. Because in this video, we're going to break down the 3 powerful things that intelligent people always avoid. We're talking about the habits, the mindsets, and the emotional traps that keep people stuck, and the quiet power moves that set the intelligent few apart. This isn't surface level advice. This is soul level strategy. And if you take these words seriously, if you apply these truths with discipline, you won't just see a shift in your mindset, you'll see a shift in your entire life. Because intelligent people aren't loud. They're not the ones bragging or seeking validation. They're not trying to prove anything to anybody. They're silent builders. They're focused warriors. They avoid what the average person runs toward. And that's what makes them dangerous in the best way. So before you waste another year repeating patterns that don't serve you, before you let one more person pull you into unnecessary battles, before you lose yourself trying to please a world that doesn't even know who you are, take this moment. Take this video seriously. Because what I'm about to tell you could save you years of pain, setbacks, and disappointment. Let's break it down. Let's get real. Let's talk about the 3 things an intelligent person avoids and why avoiding them might just be the smartest move of your life. Are you ready? Let's begin. An intelligent person avoids 3 things in life. The power of knowing what to avoid. Let me ask you a simple question. What separates the wise from the foolish? Is it intelligence, education, talent? No. The answer is discernment. The ability to recognize not just what to pursue, but what to avoid. You see, intelligent people don't waste time trying to win every battle. They pick the right ones. They avoid the traps that others fall into. Because here's the truth. Avoidance is not weakness. It's wisdom. Life will constantly present you with distractions, temptations, and opportunities to react emotionally. But an intelligent person understands that every reaction costs energy, and every decision shapes their future. There are 3 critical things that intelligent people avoid in life, and we'll get into each one. But first, you must understand the power of strategic avoidance. Think about it. You don't rise by adding more chaos to your life. You rise by removing what's holding you down. You don't grow by chasing every opinion, every argument, every opportunity. You grow by learning to say, this is not for me. That's what intelligence really is. Not just solving problems, but avoiding problems before they begin. Not just knowing what's right, but knowing when to walk away from what's wrong. So many people get stuck not because they lack talent, but because they lack discipline in what they allow. They allow toxic people to drain their spirit. They allow negative thoughts to dominate their mind. They allow comfort zones to replace purpose. But an intelligent person sees through the noise. They filter the nonsense. They don't just live, they live with intentionality. They avoid what doesn't align with their growth, their goals, and their values. Because here's the truth. Your life is shaped more by what you reject than what you accept. And if you keep saying yes to distractions, you'll never have the focus to say yes to your destiny. Intelligent people understand the value of their time. They guard their peace like treasure. They don't just go through life reacting. They move with precision, clarity, and purpose. Avoidance isn't about fear. It's about focus. It's about choosing your battles wisely. It's about protecting your energy, your goals, your mindset. So ask yourself right now, what am I allowing into my life that an intelligent person would have already walked away from? Because until you learn what to avoid, you'll never reach the places you were meant to go. An intelligent person avoids drama. The first thing an intelligent person avoids, without hesitation, is drama. Let's be real, drama is everywhere. It's in your friend group, it's in your family, it's in your workplace. And more often than not, it's online, screaming for your attention, begging you to take a side, get emotional, and waste your precious energy on things that have nothing to do with your growth. But here's what intelligent people know. Drama is a trap. It's designed to distract you, consume your focus, and keep you stuck in cycles that don't serve your future. An intelligent person doesn't chase chaos, they create peace. They don't entertain gossip, they protect their energy. They don't involve themselves in every argument, every debate, or every petty misunderstanding. Why? Because they've learned that peace of mind is more valuable than being right in a meaningless fight. Let me be clear. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to respond to every insult thrown your way. And you definitely don't have to engage with people who are addicted to negativity. Some people thrive on drama because they have nothing else fueling their life. They get a rush from stirring chaos, dragging others into emotional confusion and creating division. But intelligent people, they see it for what it is. A waste of time. You want to grow? You want to elevate? Then you must choose peace over pettiness. You must walk away from gossip circles. You must rise above emotional reactions. Because the more you allow drama into your life, the more you delay your own progress. Don't confuse silence with weakness. Don't confuse walking away with losing. Sometimes the strongest move is to say nothing and move on. Why? Because intelligent people value their mental health, their vision, and their goals too much to risk them for temporary emotions. Your attention is currency. And when you spend it on drama, you're going broke, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. So ask yourself, are you giving energy to things that don't matter? Are you letting someone else's chaos become your distraction? You don't have to answer every call. You don't have to clap back at every insult. And you don't have to prove your worth to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Intelligence is peace. It's maturity. It's knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. When to stay and when to walk away. And when to say, this is not my storm to fight. An intelligent person avoids overreacting. The second thing an intelligent person avoids is something subtle but powerful. They avoid overreacting. Listen closely, because this one could change the way you live your life. We live in a reactive world. A world where emotions run high and people are quick to explode at the smallest inconvenience. One wrong word, one delayed message, one moment of misunderstanding, and boom, people are triggered. But intelligence says, pause. Intelligent people understand that not everything deserves a reaction, and even fewer things deserve a strong one. They know that when you let your emotions take over, you often act in ways that hurt your relationships, your reputation, and your results. Overreacting is not a sign of strength. It's a sign of lack of control, lack of clarity, lack of emotional maturity. You don't have to turn everything into a crisis. You don't have to respond with fire every time something doesn't go your way. Intelligent people choose stability over sensationalism. They breathe before they speak. They listen before they respond. They assess before they attack. And no, that doesn't mean they're passive. It means they're wise enough to know that most of the things we stress over aren't worth losing our peace for. Because here's the truth. You can't control everything that happens, but you can control how you respond. And your response determines your outcome. Overreacting ruins moments that could have been managed calmly. It damages relationships that could have been healed with patience. It closes doors that could have stayed open had you just taken a moment to think. You've got to realize that not every challenge is an emergency. Not every opinion is an attack. Not every delay is a disaster. Some people spend their lives being emotionally exhausted, always offended, always irritated, always on edge. That's not power, that's chaos. But the intelligent people, they move with calmness. They lead with reason. They protect their energy by avoiding unnecessary emotional outbursts. Because they understand your emotions are messengers, not masters. They can inform you, but they should never control you. So the next time something triggers you, stop and ask, is this worth my peace? Is this really as serious as it feels right now? Am I about to make a temporary emotion cause a permanent consequence? Overreaction can cost you more than you realize. Your job, your relationship, your reputation. even your own self-respect. Don't let your feelings speak louder than your wisdom. Learn to respond instead of react. That's the difference between someone who's driven by impulse and someone who's guided by intelligence. An intelligent person avoids trying to please everyone. Here's the third thing intelligent people avoid. And it might be the hardest one for many of us to accept. They avoid trying to please everyone. Let's be honest, most people are exhausted not because they're doing too little, but because they're doing too much for the wrong reasons. They're living to be liked. They're afraid to say no. They constantly seek approval, validation, and acceptance from people who don't even know who they truly are. But intelligent people learn this truth early. You can't please everyone, and try to do so will destroy you. Because every time you say yes just to keep someone happy, you're saying no to yourself. You're pushing your needs, your goals, your dreams, and your peace aside to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be. That's not kindness. That's self-betrayal. Intelligent people understand that no matter how kind, how talented, or how generous you are, someone will still misunderstand you, dislike you, or expect more. And that's okay, because your job is not to be liked by everyone. Your job is to be true to yourself. People-pleasing is a trap. It sounds noble, but it often comes from insecurity and fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough unless someone else approves of you. But here's the truth. The more you try to please others, the more you lose yourself. You shrink, you hesitate, you silence your voice just to keep the peace. Until one day you look in the mirror and realize you don't even recognize who you are anymore. But intelligent people, they set boundaries. They say no without guilt. They choose respect over attention and authenticity over popularity. They know that if being yourself offends someone, that's not your problem to fix. It's their bias to unpack. And listen, when you stop trying to please everyone, something powerful happens. You attract the right people. People who respect your no. People who value your voice. People who love you for who you are, not for what you do for them. Freedom doesn't come from fitting in. Freedom comes from standing out with courage, with confidence, and with conviction. So here's the challenge. Stop asking, will they like me if I do this? Start asking, will I respect myself if I do this? Because intelligent people aren't afraid to disappoint others if it means they're staying true to their path. They don't chase approval, they live with purpose. And that purpose is worth more than 1,000 fake smiles or shallow compliments. An intelligent person avoids drama. The first thing an intelligent person avoids, without hesitation, is drama. Let's be real, drama is everywhere. It's in your friend group, it's in your family, it's in your workplace. And more often than not, it's online, screaming for your attention, begging you to take a side, get emotional, and waste your precious energy on things that have nothing to do with your growth. But here's what intelligent people know. Drama is a trap. It's designed to distract you, consume your focus, and keep you stuck in cycles that don't serve your future. An intelligent person doesn't chase chaos, they create peace. They don't entertain gossip, they protect their energy. They don't involve themselves in every argument, every debate, or every petty misunderstanding. Why? Because they've learned that peace of mind is more valuable than being right in a meaningless fight. Let me be clear. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to respond to every insult thrown your way. And you definitely don't have to engage with people who are addicted to negativity. Some people thrive on drama because they have nothing else fueling their life. They get a rush from stirring chaos, dragging others into emotional confusion, and creating division. But intelligent people, they see it for what it is. A waste of time. You want to grow? You want to elevate? Then you must choose peace over pettiness. You must walk away from gossip circles. You must rise above emotional reactions. Because the more you allow drama into your life, the more you delay your own progress. Don't confuse silence with weakness. Don't confuse walking away with losing. Sometimes the strongest move is to say nothing and move on. Why? Because intelligent people value their mental health, their vision, and their goals too much to risk them for temporary emotions. Your attention is currency. And when you spend it on drama, you're going broke, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. So ask yourself, are you giving energy to things that don't matter? Are you letting someone else's chaos become your distraction? You don't have to answer every call. You don't have to clap back at every insult. And you don't have to prove your worth to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Intelligence is peace. It's maturity. It's knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. When to stay and when to walk away. And when to say, this is not my storm to fight. An intelligent person avoids emotional chaos. If there's one thing that quietly destroys progress, peace, and potential, it's emotional chaos. And that's why intelligent people do everything in their power to avoid it. They don't allow their minds to become playgrounds for fear, insecurity, or anger. They don't allow their peace to be dictated by circumstances or other people's moods. They understand something that many people never realize. You can't control what happens around you, but you can master what happens within you. Emotional chaos is when your mind is running in every direction, filled with overthinking, self-doubt, stress, and anxiety. It's when you become reactive instead of reflective. It's when your emotions make the decisions instead of your wisdom. And here's the truth. You can't live your best life when your mind is constantly in conflict. You can't grow, focus, or heal when you're trapped in emotional noise. That's why intelligent people choose emotional discipline. Now understand this clearly. Emotional discipline is not about being cold or detached. It's about being centered. It means you feel your emotions, but you don't allow them to control your choices. Because here's what intelligent people know. A moment of emotional weakness can destroy years of work. One outburst can end a relationship. One poor decision in anger can cost you an opportunity. One emotional spiral can make you doubt yourself when you're only one step away from a breakthrough. So what do intelligent people do? They pause, they reflect, they meditate, they journal, they step back and ask, is this emotion telling me the truth or is it just loud? They train their minds like others train their bodies, because they understand that a calm mind is a powerful mind. And a powerful mind doesn't get rattled by petty drama, online comments, or the unpredictable nature of life. Instead of reacting to everything, intelligent people respond with intention. They don't chase peace, they protect it. They don't wait for calm, they create it. They also avoid emotional vampires, people who feed off negativity, drama, and chaos. They set boundaries, even if it means losing certain people, because they'd rather lose a connection than lose their clarity. So if you want to be truly intelligent, start by mastering your emotions. Learn to sit with discomfort. Learn to breathe through anger. Learn to question your thoughts instead of blindly obeying them. Because your emotions are temporary, but your decisions based on those emotions can have permanent consequences. You were not created to live in chaos. You were built for greatness. But you can't step into that greatness if your mind is always at war with itself. An intelligent person avoids making impulsive decisions. One of the greatest signs of intelligence is patience in decision making. An intelligent person knows that every decision is a seed, and what you plan today will grow into your reality tomorrow. That's why they avoid impulsive decisions at all costs. You see, impulsive decisions are usually born out of emotions, not strategy. Out of fear, anger, stress, jealousy, or even desperation. And decisions made in that emotional fog rarely lead to growth. In fact, most of the time they lead to regret. Think about how many people have ruined relationships because of one angry moment. Think about how many people have quit a goal too soon, or jumped into the wrong opportunity, or spent money they didn't have just because they didn't stop and think. That's the danger of acting too quickly. But intelligent people operate differently. They pause, they process, they reflect before they react. They understand that a decision made in 5 seconds can impact the next 5 years of their life. Instead of rushing, they ask powerful questions like, what are the long-term consequences of this choice? Am I reacting to my emotions or responding to my values? Will this decision bring me closer to the person I want to become? That's the difference between people who stay stuck and those who rise. Impulsive decisions come from a place of survival, but wise decisions come from a place of vision. Let me say this clearly. Just because something feels urgent doesn't mean it's important. Just because someone pressures you to decide quickly doesn't mean you have to. Smart people know how to buy themselves time, because clarity often comes with stillness, not speed. And it's not just about avoiding mistakes, it's about building a life you won't have to apologize for later. When you act on impulse, you're letting the moment control you. But when you choose to step back, breathe, and think things through, you take control of your life. That's what intelligent people do. They avoid making permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. And here's another truth. Not deciding immediately doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to say, let me think about it. So the next time life puts you in a pressure-filled moment, remember this. You don't owe anyone a rushed decision. You owe yourself a clear mind and a thoughtful response. Make decisions that your future self will thank you for. Because intelligent people don't just make decisions, they make intentional ones. An intelligent person avoids living without purpose. Let's end with the most powerful truth of all. An intelligent person avoids living without purpose. There's nothing more dangerous than drifting through life without a direction. Waking up each day with no real aim, no real intention, and no passion behind your actions. Because here's the truth, you weren't created just to exist. You were created to make an impact. Intelligent people understand this. They know life isn't about going through the motions. It's not about working a job you hate, impressing people you don't like, or chasing things that don't matter. It's about becoming who you were meant to be. It's about living life on purpose, not by accident. A person without purpose is easily distracted. They chase trends. They follow crowds. They say yes to things that drain them because they don't know what truly fuels them. They settle. They shriek. They stay stuck. But a person with purpose, they're focused. They're intentional. They move with clarity even if no one else understands their vision. Purpose gives your life direction. It turns pain into power. It turns struggle into strength. And it gives you a reason to keep going when things get hard, because you know you're not just surviving, you're building something meaningful. But here's what you need to know. Purpose doesn't always shout, it whispers. It doesn't always show up in one big moment. Sometimes it reveals itself slowly through growth, through learning, through the quiet choices you make every single day. That's why intelligent people take the time to reflect. They ask themselves the tough questions. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Does this align with my values? Is this path making me proud of who I'm becoming? They avoid living on autopilot. They avoid chasing someone else's definition of success. Because they know the ultimate failure is to win in the wrong race. If you want to live like an intelligent person, don't just focus on success, focus on significance. Don't just chase what looks good, pursue what feels right. And don't just exist to fill space, exist to fulfill purpose. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. But start somewhere. Start by eliminating what doesn't feel right. Start by following your curiosity, your gifts, your passions. Start by being honest with yourself. Because when you live with purpose, every step matters. Every challenge has meaning. And every day becomes a chance to become the person you were created to be. So avoid drifting. Avoid the trap of comfort. Avoid the lie that says this is all there is. Because deep down you know you're meant for more. And the intelligent ones, they chase that more with everything they've got. They avoid living on autopilot. They avoid chasing someone else's definition of success. Because they know the ultimate failure is to win in the wrong race. If you want to live like an intelligent person, don't just focus on success. Focus on significance. Don't just chase what looks good, pursue what feels right. And don't just exist to fill space, exist to fulfill purpose. You don't have to have it all figured out right now, but start somewhere. Start by eliminating what doesn't feel right. Start by following your curiosity, your gifts, your passions. Start by being honest with yourself. Because when you live with purpose, every step matters. Every challenge has meaning. And every day becomes a chance to become the person you were created to be. So avoid drifting. Avoid the trap of comfort. Avoid the lie that says this is all there is. Because deep down, you know you're meant for more. And the intelligent ones? They chase that more with everything they've got. Now you know the truth. Intelligent people don't just chase success, they avoid destruction. They aren't focused on trying to do everything, they're focused on doing the right things. They move differently, think deeply, and protect their peace like it's sacred, because it is. Let's rewind for a second. They avoid toxic people, not because they're weak, but because they're wise enough to know when energy becomes a weapon. They avoid arguing with fools, not because they can't win, but because they know there's no value in proving yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you. They avoid making impulsive decisions, not because they lack courage, but because they understand that patience is a form of power. They avoid noise, comparison, and the urge to explain themselves, because they know that peace is found in stillness and progress is found in focus. And most importantly, they avoid living without purpose. Because to live without purpose is to die slowly while still breathing. Listen, Life will always try to pull you in 100 directions. It'll tempt you with distraction, with drama, with detours. But intelligence isn't found in how much you can endure, it's found in what you choose to ignore. When you master the art of walking away from what doesn't align with your growth, your peace, or your purpose, you unlock a different kind of power. A silent power. A rare strength. So now it's your turn. Take a hard look at your life. Where are you pouring your energy and getting nothing in return? What are you still entertaining that is robbing you of clarity, confidence, and peace? Let it go. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now, because the truth is, if you keep doing what average people do, you'll keep living an average life. But if you learn to avoid what doesn't serve you, you give yourself permission to build something extraordinary. It takes discipline, it takes courage, and yes, it takes intelligence. But you've got all of that inside you, so stop trying to fight every battle. Stop chasing things that don't belong to you. Stop just surviving and start living with intention. Because when you eliminate the wrong things, the right things finally have space to grow. And that's the secret intelligent people know. They don't just build their lives, they protect them. Let this be your turning point. Let this be the moment you say, I'm done settling, I'm done wasting, I'm done explaining, I'm done being distracted. You've got a life to build, a future to claim, and a purpose to walk in. So walk wisely, and remember, an intelligent person doesn't just know what to do, they know exactly what to walk away from. Now go live like it.